Hey, what's up guys? The Ironhulk is here giving you I guess you can say, multiple review. We are having a multiple review of the Transformers Dark of the Moon action figures. So, I'm leaving to Florida tomorrow, which means I won't have any video updates or anything for a couple weeks. And Dark of the Moon is coming out June 29th, so I'm not sure if I'll be back by then. So I decided to do kind of like an accumulative review of the film of the figures I have so far. I won't be doing any transformations. You can watch, like Optimus or PR, MGO, any of those guys for transformation videos. I'm focusing more on the detail of the robot mode figures and whatnot. So we have Shockwave here, who obviously I was like super stoked to hear that he was going to be in Dark of the Moon, and he by far is one of the best Voyager figures I've ever purchased. And that is saying a lot. He is nicely sculpted, beautiful detail, great articulation. I mean, he rocks. He is really cool, and he is a bit flat. You can tell he's kind of a flat looking figure, but I'm pretty sure Hasbro will release a leader class Shockwave in the future. So we can look forward to seeing a giant Shockwave figure next to Leader Prime. But next we have is Deluxe Starscream. Now, yeah, okay, so this guy, he is really small, but he is an awesome figure. He's pretty much a miniature version of Leader class Starscream from Revenge of the Fallen. He has this cool mech tech weapon, which is actually backwards, and it goes like this. Not sure if you guys can see, but it's like a giant attack knife. He does come with another one, but I gave it to Megatron, and we'll see in a second. Shockwave's mech tech involves take this piping out here. It involves these small guns, I guess, that come out. Very cool. One interesting thing is the mech tech weapons can lock, but only with the Voyager figures. So we can lock this in its place. We just push the top part of this down, and it stays in that position. Sadly, the Deluxe class figures, they can't. But you can easily put something in between the gears to keep it in that position. But anyways, we'll move on. So we have Shockwave, a really cool Deluxe Starscream. One thing, the paint on these guys, not all of them are I guess, worth the money. I saw Sideswipe and I was just shaking my head. I was like, why? He's just unpainted. But anyways, we'll move on to I guess Megatron here. He's easily one of my favorite Megatron figures. Okay, so this is actually Deluxe Bumblebee's gun, and this is Starscream's knife. But I decided to give it to Megatron because he comes with a really lame mech tech weapon. It's on his back right here. And it's supposed to be like his fusion cannon, and then the mech tech opens up and turns into like this crab claw thing, which is supposed to be like a extended fusion cannon, but it just does not look like one. And I mean, it looks really nice in his truck transformation mode. He turns into a Mack truck, which is really neat. But I just I'm not really liking it. Like, that's why I gave him Bumblebee's gun. Because I think he looks a lot... I think this actually looks more like a fusion cannon than his lobster claw tack weapon. But whatever. Oops. Other fingers. But I mean, it does serve as a cool jetpack, I guess. Just in case he wants to fend off some Autobots that are attacking his Decepticon core. But awesome figure. The articulation. I don't want to say that he's probably the most articulated figure in this Dark of the Moon line so far, but he is really poseable. And he can take his tarp off, revealing his ugly face. Yeah, it's pretty ugly. Prime really screwed him up last time in Revenge of the Fallen, so he's got like a Two-Face type thing going on here. But seriously, a really cool figure. A little bit light on the paint, but overall, I just think he is one of the figures that you should pick up out of all of the Decepticons. Megatron, well, he's Megatron, all right, and this really makes up for all the movie Megatrons that came out before this. The first movie Megatrons were just total crap. They were so bad. Leader class Megatron from Revenge of the Fallen was horrible, and his Voyager class wasn't too great either. So this guy is a step up, and if they make a leader class version just like this, I will die, and I'll be in heaven. So we got the Decepticons taken care of. Overall, very nice. Oh wait, no, we still have one Decepticon left. We have Crankcase. Crankcase. He's a dreads. He's a dread. He's part of a assassin group that were on the moon, and all I know is that they fight Ironhide and Bumblebee and a couple other guys. That's all I know. I don't want to spoil the film for myself, but one issue I have with this figure is okay, so they recalled the first batch of Crankcase figures because their fingers were clipped off for some reason, and I got one of the figures that have that problem. Also, as you can see, he has a door panel here with the Decepticon logo, and well, he's missing one here. It just never came with one, which is really unfortunate. But I still honestly, I really don't care because he's a really cool looking figure. He actually kind of reminds me of a Predator, so that's definitely a plus. I'd love to see what he does in the movie with his team, and his mech tech weapon is pretty cool. I mean, who wouldn't want one of these things just fly in your face? 3D Michael Bay explosions. But all right, so those are our Decepticons, and I'm actually very happy with them. I think Hasbro's done a really good job. The only, like I said, the only minor complaint is the light paint apps, but yeah, that's what customizing's for. And at $11.99 for the deluxe classes at Target, and $10, just $9.99 at Walmart, and $14.99 for these guys, the Voyager. They're a steal. Okay, Target is a little bit more expensive. I think they want $18 for the Voyagers, but it's still compared to how much we had to pay for Reveal the Shield and stuff before that. I'm happy that the prices are lowered. But let's move on to the Autobots here. I guess we'll start out with Bumblebee, because, well, he's Bumblebee. To be honest, he is my favorite movie Bumblebee figure. Battle Blade's Bumblebee I never owned, but they say he is the best figure out there. I actually really like this guy. His articulation is great, but what really got me was he doesn't come with any gimmicks, which is what I like. I added some guns that came with my Predaking figure from Takara, because he came with a bunch of weapons, so great for mech tech customs. And he doesn't come with anything but the mech tech gun that Megatron came with, and I'm happy about that. We just have a legitimate Bumblebee figure that has 2 arms instead of 1 arm and 1 cannon arm. Really fun transformation. Yeah, he's a bit light on paint, but I do know that they're releasing the Nitro Bumblebee, which looks awesome. The leader Bumblebee looks like crap, so I'm not buying that. But no, but really, he's a really great figure. Great articulation. I mean, you can do so many things with this guy, posing wise. He does have a bit of a backpack, but it's not that bad, you know. And yeah, he's a great figure. He is a bit tiny. He's a small figure, but he's not super small. Like, he can still fit with the rest of the Transformers lines. He's just a smidget tinier than the other Bumblebees. But you know what? The MechTech ports are freaking awesome. I love MechTech. I wasn't too happy about it at first. I'm like, that sounds so gimmicky. But you know what? It's sick, and I will show you exactly why with Optimus here. Optimus Prime. Okay, so this is what I call MechTech Optimus. This gun belongs to Ironhide, which I'll show you in a second. This is Optimus's gun. These are Predaking's weapons. Yeah, so he's just super duper souped up. And this right here is my favorite Voyager Optimus Prime. He is a bit funny looking at first. I wasn't too hot on it, but when you have him in person, he kicks so much ass. He is just a crazy awesome figure. And he has some cool additions. You know, he's got his abs now. He's got like his rocket boosters to go, I guess, on the moon or whatever, or fly around. And then he has some cool thrusters in the back. And then all the MechTech ports that you can add. You know, you can add all this cool stuff. So he can take down Megatron and Shockwave and whoever else is in his way. The transformation is really fun. He does have a couple new additions. He has these solar panel plates, whatever. I'm not really sure what they are. And you can tell proportionally he actually looks like Optimus Prime proportionally. The Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime Voyager figure looked nothing like this. So this is definitely a plus. And I really do hope that they make a leader class Prime for this film line, because I think it'll be amazing. I honestly think that they're just giving us a taste, and if sales are good, they'll give us awesome figures. But yeah, Voyager Prime kicks ass. So we'll put him over here. And next we have a Wrecker, Topspin. He's actually really cool. He's a really I guess you can say somewhat stereotype. Same with Roadbuster. They're rednecks, I guess. I'll just show you guys Roadbuster. Yeah, they're rednecks, I guess. They like NASCAR, and well, yeah, that's pretty much all they are. They're redneck NASCAR lovers with giant guns and product placement all over them. So they do represent a good portion of the United States, mostly the South. I do hope that they don't give them like Southern accents. I know they have this kind of redneck appeal, but I did hear, spoilers, that one of them is, I believe, like English, and one's Australian or something like that, or German, French, I'm not sure. I would like that. I would definitely like like, you know, different sounding Autobot, even if he does look like a redneck. But no, these guys are really cool figures. Roadbuster here has a chainsaw attack, MechTech, so, you know, that's always awesome. And I did add some additions that came with my Dark Mount figure from Generations. So he does have some cool weapons to kick some Decepticon tail. And Topspin, he has 4 machine guns on his back, or whatever, his back wing things here. and he has a nut grabber, like I like to call it, because he'll grab Devastator's nuts. So that's pretty neat. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about these guys. Really cool figures, really fun. But this guy, Ironhide, the coolest Voyager figure, I think. There's so much hate on this figure right now because of his arms. He does have some really weird arms. His articulation is very strange. Like, his upper arms are on this like swivel joint that only goes side to side like this. And then he has a ball jointed elbow, sorta, kind of. It's not even his elbow. It's like it's a very deformed arm, and it can go, you know, it can move, but he's very limited to his arm movement. But this is the most accurate Ironhide figure I've seen throughout the entire movie line, except for the robot replicas, but they're like this big and, you know, they don't transform. So I do think this is really masterful in terms of engineering for, you know, the people who designed this figure, because honestly, this is pretty crazy stuff. He looks very similar to how he does in the movie. And I don't have the leader version yet, but I am dying to buy it because he looks even more badass. But I'm just so happy that they finally got these guys to actually look like they do in the film. And this Ironhide right here looks super nice. I will buy an extra one of these because Ironhide does, you know, I want two of them on his arm. That's why Optimus has one for now, because it doesn't look that great on just one arm. But having two of Predaking's guns does make it look pretty neat. And no, I love this figure. I love all these guys. Like, honestly, I don't hate any of them. Yeah, some are lesser. Like, you know, I do like Ironhide, Prime, and Megatron a little bit more than, let's say, the Wreckers and Bumblebee. But they are all really great figures. Now, we have one more Dark of the Moon figure, which, you know, I'm about 50-50 on this guy. And this will be, let me move the camera, Sentinel Prime. Sentinel Prime is a leader figure. He's the only leader figure I've purchased so far, and for a good reason. Bumblebee just looks terrible. Ironhide hasn't come out yet, and so far we only have 3 leader figures, which is you know, the usual course. You know, we do have for Revenge of the Fallen, we had Prime, Megatron, and Starscream. So I mean, you know, so that's cool. So yeah, like I said, I'm like 50-50 on this guy. He is really cool for display, but the transformation, even with the instructions, took me 2.5 hours. I think even more than that, just because everything has to be placed so precisely. It was not fun. It was like transforming Revenge of the Fallen Leader Prime. Leader Prime was, he was so, like, there's a difference between fun transformations and this. I mean, I do think that the engineering on this guy is brilliant. The way that you know, they designed the transformation, it's insane. But I do think that it's a little bit too much. Kids will not, they would just throw this guy away because, I mean, God forbid I wouldn't throw him away, but I just can't see parents helping. The parents would tear their hair out because the instructions, as much as they have improved, which I'm happy about, Sentinel, he's just a bit difficult to transform, which, you know, I just don't think we need that in leader class figures. I like challenge, but I don't like super impossible, take you 4 hours to transform a robot a figure, you know. But I do like his robot mode. He is really cool looking. Not as clunky as I thought he would be. He looked, you know, pretty bulky in the box, but as you can see on the side, he's actually not that bad. And he does have this really cool fire hose type device, because he is a fire truck, kind of like a doppelganger to the semi-truck that Optimus Prime is. So that's kind of cool. His mech tech, believe it or not, is this shield thing, which I have it attached to his arm because his hands are pretty, yeah, they're pretty bad. So he can't really hold it too well, because there's a handle right here. But this handle just kind of, I guess it's not thick enough to have Sentinel grasp it. It's just kind of there, like floating around. But here's the mech tech. Kind of, you have to put your finger on this bar here, and then press the Cybertronian shields thing, and it opens up like that. Pretty neat, I guess. I kind of wished he came with a gun or something. Maybe this is all he uses, who knows? But I do kind of know that he doesn't only use this, so. So that's Sentinel Prime. He's a 50-50 figure. I mean, he does have the light up sounds and the button, there we go. So that's cool. That does not sound like Leonard Nimoy whatsoever. But what are you gonna do? It's you know, I'm pretty sure they had the voice recorded months before they hired Leonard Nimoy. So this guy, I think he's $40, $50. It's if you want a Sentinel Prime figure to be with your Optimus Prime, he is awesome in terms of just, you know, keeping him on your shelf and not transforming him because you'll just jump out of the window. But yeah, if you just want to display him, he looks awesome. And in terms of paint, Hasbro still kept with their leader figures. I think the paint job is really nice on this. They did use more plastic in colored plastic, so all this isn't painted. All the red is just red plastic. But I do think that the leader class figures have stayed on course with, you know, with the earlier ones. So so that's pretty good. I'm happy. I'm happy and I'm not happy. But he looks cool with Prime, and I'd love to see how he looks like next to Ironhide. But overall, I am more than happy with these figures. I think Hasbro did a crazy job, excellent job in engineering the transformations. The Voyager Deluxe class figures are much more simple and yet really fun. Revenge of the Fallen figures, some of them, you can tell that they were rushing and that, you know, oh, well, you know, let's just have these figures come out as early as possible. And then they improved upon them later on in 2010. But what we have here are excellent figures for a first round. Just imagine Dark of the Moon figures a year from now. I really can't imagine, because they'll probably be amazingly just intricate and just I can't wait. I really can't wait. And I'm still looking for that Ironhide. I'd love to have a Deluxe Ratchet, because he looks really cool, and I like his mech tech. But we'll see. We shall see. So yeah, that's my review of the robots. I'll give a quick close-up view of the figures, since I haven't really focused much on this. So that's Sentinel, you know, pretty cool. And we got Ironhide. Ironhide, I think, is the one I want to focus on the most, because I just really like him. And he, you know, a lot of people say, oh, he's not fun to play with, and I'm like, well, I don't really play with my Transformers. I keep them and display them, and this guy, he's perfect for display. And you can see, not much bulk, no backpack, really. He just has his door panels, which I'm cool with. I mean, he looks awesome. Then we got Roadbuster, who needs some paint. Roadbuster needs some paint. Look at this. Not painted, but still a really nice figure. He does have a bit of a backpack because they, I guess, forgot to do something with this part. But I kind of like it. It kind of gives him more of a, like, I'm not really sure what, but it's neat. I like Roadbuster. Bumblebee, I already talked about Bumblebee. I like him. He's Bumblebee. He's every little kid's hero. And he's also a mass murderer of Decepticons. So we got that. And Crankcase, Hasbro's Reject, who looks like a predator. And yeah. Cool mech tech. I like his mech tech. And then we got Topspin here, our fellow redneck Transformer, with his nice mullet and his shades, because you know he has to go to a NASCAR event, so he's got to have his mullet and his shades on. Oh God, Michael Bay, you're so. I don't know. If they have a scene with the twins and these guys, I would just call that the most stereotypical scene in movie history. Alright, Shockwave. Shockwave is Shockwave. One eye, giant gun. He's just badass. He's really cool. Kind of tiny though. He's a bit tiny, but you know what? Maybe he'll be tiny in the movie. Who knows? Probably not. Giant robots aren't really considered tiny. Then we got Megs. Megs has amazing detail, and if I can focus on his face a little bit, look at that face. Roar. Megatron. Roar. Yeah, that's Megs for you. And like I said, he's a Mack truck now, so I guess another doppelganger for Prime. Even though he does look a bit screwed up. Starscream. Starscream is Starscream. He hasn't really changed much, which I'm happy about. And I hope he kicks some ass in this movie, because he got his butt handed to him in Revenge of the Fallen. So that's that. And last but not least, we got Prime, who, like I said, is my favorite movie Prime, because, well, look at him. He is awesome. And there's a bunch of them at retail, because everyone's like, oh, well, I already have a Prime figure, so I don't want this guy. But I assure you, he is sick. He is very awesome. And you can do all this to him and give him giant guns on his back. And just, it's sick. Mech Tech rocks, I swear it. I think I might just go on eBay and buy a bunch of Mech Tech weapons and just give my guys just an arsenal of crazy explosive weapons and chainsaws and whatever. But yeah, overall, Dark of the Moon rocks. And I assure you right now that the movie will be 10 times better than Revenge of the Fallen. I liked Revenge of the Fallen, but I think Dark of the Moon will rock. Yes, I still think the cheesy humor is there. You just can't get past that. But I just have a feeling that they actually put some effort in this one. And the 3D is going to be amazing. I saw the trailer in 3D, and I nearly died. So, good thing I'm still alive, though, so I can still watch the actual movie. But anywho, Dark of the Moon figures rock. If you're into Transformers or just robots in general, just at least pick up the Decepticons, Megatron, Shockwave, and Ironhide and Optimus Prime for the Autobots. Those are the best. The Voyager figures in general are awesome. And so yeah, alright guys, I am done. I will probably be back in, let's say, 2-3 weeks. Hopefully, if not a month. But yeah, so this is my last review for a while. So alright guys, Adios.